Kim here from Chemistry with a quick video. This is both current events and a reminder of this book that I wrote. If you haven't bought it yet, Browning Pleasantville, I strongly encourage you to buy it because this is relevant stuff to what's going on. And unfortunately, probably for many, many decades to come, we will still continuously, persistently be talking about race and class. And that's what that book is about. And how sometimes folks are experiencing traumas and we don't always hear the trauma stories. Sometimes we just survive it and we move on. In this book, I document my trauma story so you're walking along it with me. Here's why this is relevant to current events. I have two amazing kids, and my oldest is in high school right now, and she goes to a predominantly white school in the suburbs. Though it is decently racially diverse, minority students by race are still outnumbered by white students. Now, whether the teachers want to talk about race and class or not doesn't matter, because race and class still find their way inside of culture, still find a way inside of natural dialogue, and we've got to find a way to manage those conversations whether we feel equipped to do it or not, which is why I was referencing the book. And here's what happened. My daughter found herself in dialogue with a white male middle-class peer about the H&M fiasco that's happened recently. Little black boy's got the green sweatshirt on. It says "Best Monkey in the Jungle." There's national outrage and people are saying they're gonna boycott H&M. Folks are really upset. They're doing memes about the boy changing the caption on the shirt to say that he's the king. There's some folks out there who have no idea that black folk ever had any kind of derogatory relationship to monkeys. And there's just a lot of cross-cultural confusion about the whole thing. This is actually what happened in the dialogue my daughter had with her white male middle-class peer. They engaged in the conversation about the H&M monkey shirt, and at the end of the day, my daughter is furious and upset and outraged, having also experienced some racial trauma from a previous suburban, predominantly white high school, bringing in this old stuff with her, this old baggage that's not quite healed yet. Engages in this racial dialogue with a white male middle class peer who doesn't get it, and the conversation ends with him saying to her, in relationship to her and to all black people, "I think y'all are just overreacting about the whole thing." Her head explodes. She's on fire. He doesn't get it, and she doesn't know what to do with herself. Here's the bigger problem. This is the middle of the academic day, so now my daughter has to go through the rest of her classes having not really managed her emotions around that conversation well. That means when I think critical thinking should be taking place so she could be learning, she's just surviving the day. How does that relate to the book? It's a lot of what I experienced and I document in this story. We have, whether we are in a workspace, in a learning space, in our home environments, we have to figure out a way to have cross-cultural dialogue, intracultural dialogue, race, class, gender, spirituality, xenophobia, all kinds of topics. We got to find a way to have the conversations. And in doing so, it is critical for us, those of us who have experienced discrimination or bias, to really check into what we're still carrying around and get some healing about that so that we're not experiencing triggers over and over and over again and we can't do the good work. And then those who have not experienced those harms, those triggers, those traumas, you got to work on building some empathy skills so you can engage in that dialogue instead of either avoiding it altogether or sitting there completely numb and then unable to check into a person's emotions and be a good bystander, a good support system for folks. So again, if you're already in the practice of it, awesome. If you already have the book, thank you so much for your support. If you don't have the book, I would strongly suggest you getting it. This would be an excellent way for either those folks who have experienced any kind of oppression to know you're not alone. It is survivable, and you do need to talk about it, and you do need to process it, and you do need to heal from it. This is also an awesome, I feel, opportunity for those who have experienced race privilege, class privilege, to get an inside idea of what it feels like in the midst of that, when you're wearing, living, walking in, embodying, carrying around that hurt, that pain, that trauma. I encourage you to figure out how you can even sympathize and then get to a place of empathy so that you can be a strong and powerful bystander and use your privilege in a way that aids others in feeling empowered and feeling supported, and helps to undo a lot of the ways that we've built programs and cultures incorrectly. So, Brownie Pleasantville, check it out. The saga continues and the work still needs to be done. We need your help, we need your support. And I'll check you out in another video coming likely very soon.